Got it.
Perfect. Well, I'm so excited to have my guest here. We are doing season 2 of Live on Location. And today I'm welcoming Ian Osler, who skied and fished his way from southern Vermont, landing in Jackson Hole in late 1995, where his love for sales led him to a real estate career as a practicing broker for the last 20 years, producing millions of dollars in volume with a diverse array of properties, transactions, and research, including vacant land sales, 1031 exchanges, and investment properties for clients worldwide. He works with both buyers and sellers alike, never leaving a stone unturned. And he's committed to his clients in making Jackson Hole home away from home, or solely an investment property. So welcome, Ian. I'm so excited to have you on our talk live. And you just told me, I asked, how's the weather? And it's snowing there. So that's very exciting, right? When does ski season start?
Ski season starts the Thanksgiving week, and it ends the first. So it's the last week of November. First week in April, the Jackson Hole Mountain Resort is open.
How great! How great!
It seems like it always snows around Halloween too, for whatever reason. This is kind of when winter comes back again.
Right. Oh, well, that's fun. That's perfect timing, right? So I started these talks during the pandemic for my clients here in Connecticut because many of them were downsizing, relocating, looking for second homes, investment properties. So I'm really excited to talk to you because I know a lot of my clients actually moved out to your area. So we're excited to learn more about it. So let's firstly talk about the real estate market and what was happening during the pandemic and what are you seeing now?
That's very interesting, Christine, and thanks again for having me. What we're finding now is what happened last year is kind of turning. An example of that is this: people that bought homes in Jackson or maybe high-end condominiums are finding with the change of the market, they weren't renting them last year. We have found since June of this year, there is 250 new homes that are being listed with property management companies.
Wow.
That is unbelievable. I mean, what was happening before is people would buy homes and they would live in them, or they would just feel like that they were doing great, didn't want anybody coming in their homes. That has changed a lot. And the fact that there's that many homes makes it very difficult for property management companies even to keep up with that inventory. They've got to look at the appliances, they have to look at the sheets and beds, and they have to make sure that the property is up to their level of, 5-star, whatever it may be. So that's very interesting. Already this year, we're finding that the hotel bookings and off market, out of the hotels, condos, single family homes rented through property management are already down 20%. So 30%, 20%, and 250 more properties are being listed to rent. So there is a big change, a stark change from exactly what you said from last year.
Right. And why do you think that is?
I think that it has a lot to do with just the changes of the market we're all seeing, right? We're seeing issues worldwide. We're seeing economic issues. We're seeing inflation issues. And then this is a pretty, we had a lot of people that moved to Teton County, Wyoming for tax reasons. They were looking for properties for many years, and the pandemic was just the exact right thing for them to get off the fence and say, this is the time we're going to do it. And so some of these people have they came out here for a year or two and they have moved back to your area or San Francisco or Chicago or whatever it may be, because they may be back in the office. Or you know what, they're gonna rent their place out, and they need to rent it out to have that additional income.
Absolutely. So I'm so glad you brought up the taxes. I Googled, the top reasons to live in Jackson Hole, and it's the #1 tax-friendly state in the United States. So talk to us a little bit more about that. We, back in New York and certainly Connecticut, more so New York, though, our taxes are pretty high. What, for instance, on your average price point, I think you said is $3 million. What would the yearly tax be on something like that?
Yeah, well, The open spaces, we say that 97% of Teton County is in public lands. And of what the 3% was, it's more like 1% is left to develop. It's very small. So the people that live out here, including myself, we came out here for the open spaces, right? And that is a key draw. The other one is the income tax. So many of my clients call Wyoming their residency, and of course they may only be here for half the year and a day. And to answer your question, the county formula for taxes based on the levy is such that on average you would find it to be about $6,000 per million would be about where you land in this kind of upper tiered market. That'll drop down again, maybe. So, but right in that area is what I will tell people they'll find themselves with taxes. Yep.
Very interesting and very affordable, especially for us from back here. And also, it was interesting to know. I mean, I know it's known for its ski resorts, but it's the #1 ski area in North America. That's amazing. I didn't realize that. How fabulous. And there are direct flights to and from 12 major cities, which also must make it such a great hotspot for everybody. And how far are the ski areas from the airport?
So the small ski area in town is called Snow King, and it's built around the Jackson Hole Ski Club, which is kids that go midweek and ski race. And there's also races there because it's set up for ski racing. The Jackson Hole Mountain Resort is the big ski area that's located in Teton Village, and that is 15 miles from downtown Jackson. The airport, which is the only airport in a national park, is located 10 miles north of Jackson. So everything is centrally located, really, and as you mentioned, very easy to get to. In fact, they've just offered a new direct flight on American to Miami. So it's Newark, Miami, Chicago, LA, Dallas, Houston. So it is pretty efficient getting to Jackson Hole. People will forget that, albeit maybe more expensive than flying into Salt Lake from back east. It's pretty easy to get here.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about the neighborhoods, about the restaurants, about the culture. Obviously skiing is a big draw, but what else is there for people to do who maybe aren't skiers? Yeah.
Well, in the wintertime, as you just mentioned, it's focused on, I would say, skiing, right? And maybe snowmobilers are coming. Those guys are driving in. Actually, in the summertime, we have up to last year with the pandemic, which was by far a record, there was 5 million people that drove through Jackson Hole. Of course, they're in their RVs and they've got their families, and it's more affordable to do that, and they're visiting parks. In the wintertime, we have less than 1 million people. Of course, all those are flying into Jackson Hole. They're not going to drive here. They're coming for a short period of time. Downtown Jackson, we call it, has the town square, lots of great shops, fantastic dining, easy to park and walk around. So everything is within 3 or 4 blocks. When you're in Teton Village, it's more of that resort area where you're in a condo or a hotel. Of course, those hotels have their own restaurants, and people will typically stay out there when they come to Jackson, maybe a trip to town to shop, but they're going to stay at Teton Village, so they have that ski in, ski out experience. Other fun things to do are dog sledding. There's an ice rink actually at Teton Village. That's pretty fun. There's also one in the little town of Wilson. Lots of galleries, and as I mentioned, plenty of shopping.
How great. And I know it's also known for its fishing. It's great fishing, correct?
So in the summertime, there's so many things to do. In fact, I would say that, maybe start with a visit if you're not a visitor in the summertime, if you're not a big skier, and fly fishing, hiking and golfing and rafting, mountain biking, all kinds of new trails up at the ski area. And the parks are just outside of Teton County.
How great. God, it sounds beautiful. I've never been, but I'm dying to go. Now, for the families who are relocating there, how are the schools?
Well, the schools are fantastic. We like to say that they're the best in the state. They really are. And although the county has grown consistently over the last, 5 to 10 years, all of the schools have been built. I'd have to double check this, but around 10 years, all of the facilities are within 10 years old. So the school system is fantastic.
How great, how
Yeah.
great. And so if one was gonna buy an investment property, let's say, on the mountain, what would like a 3-bedroom condo go for on the mountain?
So it's a good question. The answer to that is going to depend on the newer product and the older product, right?
Okay,
So the newer products, sorry, let's start with the older product. The older product is going to sell for about $1,800 a square foot to $2,000 a square foot. That'll probably be a 1980s condo, though, that is likely been totally renovated. People will choose, because of the price point, to purchase a condo that's older. It'll be a little further away from the actual core of the ski, the ski in, ski out option. They might have to take the little bus that goes around.
Right.
But you're going to be as high as $4,000 a square foot if you're at the Four Seasons or any of the places that are around it. $3,500 to $4,000 a square foot for a ski in, ski out, concierge, parking, restaurants, facilities, spas, all of those things included.
how great, wow. Well, it just sounds amazing. And what would we be surprised to know about living in Jackson Hole that people don't really know? Is there a secret, something that you'd like to share with us?
Let's see, our secret. Well, of course, always talk to the locals when you get here so they can tell you all the better places to go. There aren't going to be as crowded in the summertime and what restaurants to go to. I would say one of the things in the wintertime is to, if you can, focus on trying to come skiing just off of the holidays, of course. The Christmas, the Presidents, the spring breaks are going to be the most expensive. Not only for your pass, but for the condos, right? There's going to be more demand. Airfare is going to be more expensive. So if you can get into the shoulder season, one of the best times to come is really those first 2 weeks in February before the President's Week. The snow is going to be the best. I would say go back to what I said before. In the summertime, try to find somebody that's local to tell you where to go, maybe off the beaten path. Wildlife tours actually are another thing I didn't mention. In the winter time actually are amazing. You'll miss out on the bears, they're hibernating, but all of the other animals are down in the valley. And it's a great time to go for a wildlife tour. Let me know, I'll put you in touch with the right people, of course.
That sounds great. So that's a great tip and surprise. I didn't know any of that. So that's fabulous.
Yeah.
And lastly, how can people get in touch with you?
Well, you'll probably post my information, I'm sure, somewhere.
I will, definitely.
And Christina, I'd love to have you come out here and I'm going to give you a personal tour either on the ski mountain or your destination of choice in the summertime. So we would love to have you come out and visit us here at Keller Williams in Jackson Hole.
I would love that, and we will truly be live when we do that. I would love that. Well, thank you so much. I've learned so much about Jackson Hole, and I can't wait to come visit. So I'm going to take you up on that invitation, and we will talk soon.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.